latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. People are still doing everything possible to make sure that their wishes are met in Africa. Upon all the tactics that they know how to use best, and they have always succeeded with these tactics, they tried them in the Sahel and there was no answer. But it's like what happened in Venezuela. They are now calling on the United States of America to do the same in the Sahel, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. It's like saying, okay, now we have a master who can do our job for us. What happened in Venezuela? We've seen a lot of leaders coming out to condemn, but there are some that are still reserved. France is out there again through their media outlets. You know how they always use this to always get us to buy into their narrative, asking, why is it that the Sahel, that is a close ally to Venezuela, a good friend of Nicolas Maduro, are silent because they expect them to be talking by now, also issuing a statement. They claim that, according to one, whoever that they quoted, said this is a warning to people who are in power that are not elected. They are talking practically against the Sahel leaders. And these people are making it look as if it is a betrayal on the part of our all in us. But ever since this thing happened, there are a lot of leaders who rose up to voice their displeasure. Others are quiet, observing the situation. And one thing we should know, silence is also an answer. It's not always that you need to be quick in putting out statement. But this doesn't mean that our leaders in the Sahel, France, they are scared. They are never scared. Besides, we know that the United States of America didn't perform any miracle. It was through the people who sold their country, thinking they sold Nicolas Maduro to the United States of America because of their own selfish gain. But even the United States of America, who says their hands are clean, according to the statement that Jeffrey Sachs gave during the United Nations Summit just a day ago, made it clear to the whole world the kind of things that the United States of America did in this world. We know about the slavery, the Vietnam War, the Iraq, even the recent one that they did in Libya. So when they are talking about people whose hands are not clean, the United States of America is one of them. Just as the preacher man said, we are saying that Nicolas Maduro is this, but Trump is equally the same.
The Venezuelan president was kidnapped in Caracas by the United States. Amid international astonishment, what is the reaction in the Sahel, particularly in the Malian, Nigerian and Burkinabe juntas, which had excellent relations with Nicolas Maduro's regime? Insight from our regional correspondent, Serge Daniel.
48 hours after the arrest and transfer to the United States of the president of Venezuela, no statement from the authorities of Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso. The silence of the allies and the ties with Caracas surprised some. When questioned by us, a Nigerian official reacted, "We are consulting because in terms of foreign policy, the countries of the economic and social affairs speak with one voice." Observers believe that the three countries are currently playing the card of caution. American President Donald Trump recently stated, "What happened to Maduro can happen to others." There is also, via tweet, this reaction from Ould Abdallah Hamidou, a well-known Mauritanian diplomat, who comments on the American operation, I quote, "A clear message, end of an era and warning to the unelected president of the Sahel," end of quote. Ideologically, after Moscow, Caracas was one of the favorite capitals of these countries of the Sahel States Alliance. The common enemy is imperialism. National sovereignty or nothing is a common slogan for the four countries. To emphasize this, the leader of the Burkina Faso junta, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, meets in May 2025 on the sidelines of a summit in Moscow. The president,
America, we've got to wake up. You know, I don't doubt that Nicolas Maduro is a thug. I don't doubt that. But so is Trump. I don't doubt that Maduro is a criminal. But so is Trump. I don't doubt that Maduro rigged the elections, but so did Trump. I don't doubt that Maduro tried to silence his critics, but so has Trump. I don't doubt that he tried to enrich himself, but so has Trump. I don't doubt that he has weaponized the justice system, but so has Donald Trump. I don't doubt that Maduro has lied to his people, but I want you to know each and every day he looks in the camera and he lies to us. So has Donald Trump.
So, if our leaders are quiet or haven't issued any statement, does it mean that they are scared of the United States of America? And we've seen that when the United States of America decided to ban our people from entering into the United States of America in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, they responded. And this time round, there is nothing they will do in Africa that they will succeed. We are bent on making sure we fight for our sovereignty. Now is the time for you as an African to love your nation than pieces of paper. This has been the problem of the African. We sell ourselves out. They wouldn't have been able to succeed in Venezuela if the people didn't sell out Nicolas Maduro because of their own selfish interests, thinking that it is Maduro they were causing harm to. But little did they know that what they did to Maduro, it is their own country that they have sold out. Maybe they thought that after everything, the power will be given to them. But Trump is saying he wants to rule Venezuela because he hasn't seen any good person that he thinks can lead the people in Venezuela now. And he also made it clear to the whole world that now the resources belong to them. But France must understand, and the West must all understand, that now we are bent on making sure our resources are protected and the resources are used for the African. We are no longer going to allow people coming into the continent to carry the resources out of the continent. We saw that the very same day that they did this thing in Venezuela, the same thing was done in Burkina Faso, but they failed. There were people in the military that sold out. They were ready to sell their country, thinking they are doing Captain Ibrahim Traore. When we did that to Nkrumah, at the end of the day, we are suffering. It is you, the Ghanaians, that are suffering because you sold out Nkrumah for peanuts. And ever since Nkrumah left, what's the fate of Ghana? Look at Burkina Faso. It's the same thing until we've seen a good leader who replaces Thomas Sankara. And the list goes on. So anytime you, an African, think that you are selling a sitting president to the oppressor, you should know that it is your future, your generation that you are putting under slavery, and not the people you think are in power that you are selling. It is high time we wake up from our sleep and start doing things right. It is either you protect your land or you sell your land for peanuts. And you must understand that there is nobody that can come here and do anything good for you. That was the same thing they promised the Libyans, that Gaddafi was a dictator. Gaddafi was this. But we've seen that Gaddafi, in this our modern world, there is no leader that can be compared to Muammar Gaddafi. Even the people who claim they are developed haven't been able to give their people the life Muammar Gaddafi gave to the Libyans. And today we are seeing it, that the Libyans are crying. The same people who thought Muammar Gaddafi was disturbing them. Any leader in this world that isn't allowing these people to have their way, they claim that leader is a dictator, is this. They are the only good people in this world, as if they have never committed any crime. The life that they promised the Libyans, where is the life? Who is suffering? And where are these same people who were preaching to the whole world how they wanted to give a better life to the Libyans? Where is the oil? Everything is gone. And that was what Muammar Gaddafi was protecting. So it's either we continue to believe the stories of these people or we fight for our own selves. Because these people always narrate the story in order for the whole world to justify what they want to do in your nation. We must rise up against any form of neocolonialism. This is a modern world. Even though as Africans we claim we are free, we are not. With this thing that they've kept out, a lot of Africans will start asking, why is it that they are not giving out any statement? Why is it that they are this? You will believe them. And this is what they want you, the African, to always do. Walk in line with them, because they've succeeded in making you believe that whatever that they put out is the best thing. But the same life they are promising you, their people are going through more hardship than you and I. After all, if you are somewhere and things are not going on well, you, an African, have a place you call a village where you own a land and you have a house. Their people do not have that. And that should make you understand that you are the best, and there is nothing anybody should use to make you sell your continent for peanuts. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In France,